Good afternoon. My name is Denzel Grant. I'm the executive director of Turn Up Knox. Turn Up Knox, we are a violence interruption program. We strive to interrupt the different cycles of gun violence in the Knoxville area. We do that by trying to support, equip, and empower not only our youth, but Knoxville as a community to give them resources to create a healthier and safer community. Today, I wanted to talk about the different demographic stressors when it comes to the community that we do serve. Mental health seems to be a key factor in a lot of the strains and barriers that we do face here in Knoxville in the inner city. A lot of that does have to do with the lack of mental health resources that we do have. Let me see. Some of the characteristics that we do face and that we do have in our community when it comes to trauma, when it comes to the grieving process, tends to be a struggle for our youth. When you talk about the history and some of the things that have transpired in the Knoxville community, specifically with our youth and losing friends and family to gun violence, there seems to be a strain in providing mental health resources for our youth, giving them room and spaces to be able to cope with the losses of their friends and loved ones. About 2-3 years ago, Austin East, local high school here in the Knoxville area, suffered many losses of students who lost their lives to gun violence. Anthony Thompson being one who actually lost his life to the hands of law enforcement. And so talking about characteristics, talking about the barriers that are structured within our community, our kids are lacking mental health resources. I think it starts with defining what mental health is. That's been something that I've taken upon myself personally and within my organization, is to define problem. I think before you can move forward with the solution, I think we can educate our youth and our community on exactly what mental health is. I think a lot of the barriers that we deal with, sometimes not only are there systematic structures in place that keep us from being able to tap into mental health resources, but also understanding the self-coping resources that we do have within ourselves. A lot of individuals and a lot of our youth in our community do not think that mental health is actually a crisis within our community. And I think that goes back to me saying not understanding exactly what mental health really is and the effects that it has on our youth on a daily basis, from structural injustices, racism, all of these things help drive the wheel to some of the health conditions that we do face. Also, going back to knowing what mental health is, I think what Turn Up Knox is trying to do, and what a few other organizations that we've had the opportunity to partner with, is figuring out ways to self-cope, self-cope and deal with mental health issues on your own at home, finding out from meditation to yoga to running to whatever that outlet can be to deal with some of the mental health strains, figuring out how we can insource mental health resources as opposed to outsourcing those mental health resources. So providing adults and providing our youth and community members with those self-coping skills to be able to deal with the mental health challenges that we do face.